Grassroots Media, welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company TMB show presented by Starne's Barber Shop, where we cover everything on the court with North Green basketball teams. As always, I'm here with boys head coach Sam Carlton and ladies head coach James Buchanan. Fellas, it's Monday morning. How we doing?
Good,
it's just Monday. It's not Monday morning during class.
You guys playing?
Here's some basketballs bouncing. It's my second period. But we did put in a good, we worked hard. They're in here doing push-ups. We did crunches today. We did alternating reverse lunges. We got in a 2-minute jog. We're still in January. We've had some snow days. Now we'll build them up. But right now it's 2 minutes. And that's after we had already done our warm-ups, our stretches. We even got a very close game. Came right down to the wire, flag football.
We had a test in personal finance.
Personal finance
Test.
done had a test.
Chapter 2.
So we're making a
You've
difference.
already hit 2 chapters.
Chapter 2.
Making a difference.
Actual days of school have you had this semester so far?
Well, that 1 week we were out for Martin Luther King on Monday, and the only other day we
2-hour delay on Friday.
we had a 2-hour delay on the Thursday. So we were basically out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, part of Thursday, all of Friday. I can count them up. Our first day back was January 3rd, so we pulled 3 days that week. Then I think we pulled the...
Pull 4 that week? Were you out that Friday?
We were out Friday, so we pulled the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. What are we up to? 7? And then we pulled the 18th on that Thursday, so that's 8. And
did you pull...
Did we make it all week last week?
I think you did. 2-hour delay Monday when we came.
Yeah, I think so. So 13?
13.
We've been in 13. This is day 14.
Yeah.
Out of, I don't know, about 20. Something like that.
Coach Tilson.
There's Coach Tilson.
We survived.
What's up, Coach?
Coach Tilson just got back from driving some kids their first time behind the wheel. I want to know how Smack did.
We survived.
We survived. So see, you talk about making a difference in the youth of America right here in northern Greene County. We've had a little bit of physical activity today. Coach has been testing in personal finance. We've been driving kids, getting some practice on the highway. So just a typical day of education here.
It's a great Monday at North Green.
That's right. Great Monday.
Let's jump into some basketball.
Hey, we might be, since you're back, we might be able to pull that door if you don't care. It's hard to concentrate with all that great basketball being played out there. All right, now we're in.
Basketball. Last week we had Cloudland and University High. An all-conference week for you last week. I think both of you split and both of you did like a reverse split. I think it was a win and loss at Cloudland and then... Or no, it was a win and loss at Cloudland and then a win and loss at University High. Whoever wants to take the floor first, go ahead, but just tell me how your week went last week.
I'll let Coach go first, but I think there was something that my daughter has pointed out to me. And I think we messed it up. I can't remember what she said now. It's something about if you lose, we win. Or if we play first, so it's always like... I think there's been some times where we've both won, and there's been some times when we've won and they've lost. But I think for the first time this year, we lost and then they won on the same day.
Means we're the losers.
No, I think it was Cloudland where we lost. Now that's what she said.
Hey,
It may be wrong.
probably true. Cloudland, tough place to play.
I want to ask
It wasn't for you on Tuesday.
How did they guard Jason?
All right, because we were...
Joking
Should we
about
show
that.
it?
And we saw how
Should we
stand up,
stand up? We're going to
Okay.
show it.
This is
Well, get
how
on
you
camera.
start the game.
Let's start a little bit.
Because
Aaron.
what now? You touch knuckles
Front and back.
with Jason in the middle.
They had him right here.
Okay. Am I Jason?
You're
Who's
Jason.
Jason? Okay, I'm Jason.
They had 2 guys touching knuckles.
In front of him?
All
All
around
around
him.
it.
Wow.
Circle.
Surrounded. We were touching in the back till you couldn't see it.
Well,
We had you completely encircled.
we knew they were going to do it.
Well-
They tried that last year for just a second. But it was
We call that
I never even seen this defense.
fist.
They did that on him. They had one other guy they were going to play. They played man to man against, and then they played a 2-man zone against 3. So we just had like a 3-on-2 drill.
Yeah.
I mean, we shot layups, and it was the funny part would be like Jason's men we would score a layup, and they would be on offense now, and they would be trying to still guard him because they weren't even watching what was going on as far as the rest. So they'd be supposed to be coming back down here. And
All I know is I was talking to mine. I walked out of the locker room. It was about a minute into the game. It was already 9-0.
Yeah,
So whatever it wasn't working.
no, I don't know. Yeah, I was proud of my kids. I thought Jason handled that perfect. The other ones handled it perfect. I mean, if you're gonna let us play 3-on-2, you just go play and shoot a layup. I think we scored 20-some points in the first quarter, like 20-something to 3 there early. I thought we handled that how we were supposed to handle. There's been times where we've let a team that we're probably better than hang around for 2 or 3 quarters, sometimes 4. But I thought we took care of business early. They were doing what they were supposed to do in half court. We were turning them over. They were looking to get the ball to Jason early in transition. So we executed what we were trying to do as good as we could do it. It was a game where everybody got in, and I think 11 people scored.
That's always awesome.
Yeah, so that was good.
Did I see where they played Unaka within 2?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not just a terrible ball club. They got a few guys that can make shots. Their number 22 is a good little player. I thought we played well up there at Cloudland the other night.
And then you traveled to University High also. You traveled to play University High last week, correct, at Brooks Gym?
Yeah.
Another tough place to play. You've got the larger floor that we always talk about that plays a factor. Another tough competition, or another tough team that you had to play.
Yeah.
League leaders in the conference. Talk about that game.
I mean, they're a good team. It's funny because I've been on here preaching all year. We got to defend and we got to rebound. We got to defend and we got to rebound. And I think that's getting better. We defended and rebounded about as good as we can. I just got the stats back there Saturday. We out-rebounded them. We held a team that probably scored 75 points a game to 50.
Mm-hmm.
They hit 16 threes on them last time I know when we were previewing it. I talked about we got to keep them, held down from the three-point line. They hit 3 threes. All that, I mean, if you would have told me that at the start of the game there, I would have told you I feel really good about it. But we had about our worst offensive performance of the year. I was talking with Roger here first period. We went a 5-point quarter, a 7-point quarter, and then in the fourth quarter we had an 8-point quarter. So we had 3 quarters under 10, and you're not going to win many games like that. We shot 2 of 19 from 3. We had 19 turnovers. We were abysmal, from top to bottom. Starts with me. I got to put us in better positions to score. I don't know. I just thought we got very one-dimensional there the second half as far as just standing around watching Jason. I don't know. Just we got to be better. If we can replicate that defensive performance and be our normal on offense, I think we got a chance to win. One thing I feel comfortable about, and I think Coach would say this with his games with Cloud, there's nothing on that tape that I popped in on either one of those games that tells me, hey, we just cannot beat University High. It's funny because we played 2 games that couldn't be more different. The first one was a shootout, 77-75, and then the second one, neither team could barely score. I mean, they scored a lot of theirs at the end there when we were going and running and trapping. So, I don't know.
I feel like that's how it was last year, Brooks Gym, too. I wanted to think that was a low-scoring game last year.
Here's how I pitch it to our guys. I really do. It's not showing on our record. I said this last week. I do think we're getting better. I think our defense is getting better. Our rebound is getting better. Our scoring has really been there all but one game since Christmas. You got Lance. I think Lance has really taken strides since Christmas. He's averaging like 12 points a game. Ben's playing well. We got guys playing well. Jason's being Jason. It's going to turn for us, and I hope here at the end it does. I think we beat them twice in the regular season last year, and you look up and see who made the Final Four. Wasn't us. They beat us when it mattered, so maybe we can pull the switcheroo on this year. So like Coach chose positivity. I'm choosing positivity. I think we're getting real close. So we'll see.
Let's speak about something else positive. We talk about Jason on here a lot, and I spoke about it Saturday morning, but he checked off another box on his list of things. He became North Green's all-time leading scorer the other night, passing Jennifer Weems. I don't know how many points the exact total is up to now, but how special of a moment is that? We know that he took the boys' record, he took the Greene County record, but to have the school record with a number over 2,500 is a very special feat to
I
have
think
in his
this will
resume.
say a lot about Jason. Okay, Jason didn't play. I mean, what's he? I guess he started 3 straight years. I can't remember him ever really playing bad. But he didn't feel like he played well the other night. So I get a text. I got a text in the car going home. Sorry, coach. I played like crap. I was like, well, but I'll probably coach like crap, and I'm sure everybody felt like they could have done something different. But that's just the type of kid he is. I guess you get maybe he just didn't shoot it well. It's not like he didn't play well. He just didn't shoot it well. So, but he's apologizing. So anyway, I think he'll be fine the rest of the year. There, 2,500, amazing. He's right at 2,600. I mean, Jennifer Williams scored a bunch of points over here. And, I guess it speaks for itself, all the hard work he's put in. We hope that he continues to check off these boxes, but I think he would tell you that team success to him is more important. I think he wants to get back down there to the state tournament. I think we got a shot too if we continue to get better, but I can't say enough good things about him.
I think the question I asked right after we spoke about it too was what's next? Because you've got the Greene County record, and we talked about the Northeast Tennessee records too, the Toss 5, and he's
Greene
close
County
to both of
overall
those.
record that he hadn't reached yet.
Yeah, it's
That's real
Nicole,
close.
and it's 2770 somewhere
So,
around.
if you're saying what's next, we got Jamar Livingston. That 3 people that we know have been really good players in boys here recently.
Jamar
We got
Livingston,
Jamar
Patrick
Livingston,
Good,
Patrick Good,
and
and Caleb Meredith.
that's
Right
it
there,
for
I think they're
University.
all right there within 100. And then you got Nicole, probably 130 or 40 away, 150 away, or whatever it is. So next 2 or 3 weeks he can pass those, and then looking on down the line, if we get far enough, 29-35 is the Northeast Tennessee. I guess that's from Herman, the boys coach for
University High.
University High, was actually talking about that. He said he played against Derek Horde, who holds it. He was telling me how good a player he was. And then Langston, I didn't even know what that was. He said that was the, I guess back in the 70s, would have been an all-black school. So,
Okay.
he was able to fill me in a little bit of who those people were.
Some of the history.
Little history.
Yeah.
That means Herman's old.
I'm not going to ever call anybody old.
Yeah, because I'd be the senior citizen in this trio.
Talk about your week last week.
Well, I guess if somebody, Coach made a comment there a minute ago, if you'd have told me ahead of time that this is what they would do. Well, if somebody told me ahead of time we would hold Cloudland to 34 points on their home floor, I would have thought we'll be right there and have a chance maybe to win. And we only had 22. So, we shot 1 out of 10 from the 3-point line, 7 out of 13 from the free throw line. But really, overall, our field goal percentage, I think we only made 7 shots the whole game. 9 maybe, it may have been 9, I can't remember. But we only mustered 22 points, so, they do such a good job defending. And I think Coach Birchfield does a good job of coaching. And it'll make you go back to the drawing board and rethink everything. Things that we've been successful doing all year to other people, they completely eliminated. And we had some things that we felt like they did very well that we would have to limit, and I thought we did that. They went on a little run in the second quarter. It was 8-6 with a couple minutes to go before the half. And they had a long rebound, and it was one of those where we inbounded the ball underneath our own basket, and our inbounder is also our check back.
Okay.
So we inbound it and take a quick shot. So our check back hadn't had a chance to get anywhere near the mid-court stripe. And of course, there's a long kick out, rebound type thing. So they come down. When you're breaking down how they've scored a run-out basket, it just tells you how valuable each possession and each basket is. So that got them to 10-6. And then we had back-to-back turnovers. They went on a 6-0 run. And when they're scoring on none of us, there's nothing we can do. When we've been able to put 5 people down there, we've showed, just like they've showed us, it's hard to score. So they got up 14-6, and then it just continued. They hit I think the first shot of the second half went up like 17-6. I thought, man, we're getting ready to get run out of here. And to credit our kids, we clawed back and got it all the way within 20-17. And that was with less than a minute to go in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And right there at the very end of the third, we had another meltdown. And then we got into like Coach's scenario there where he's talking about what they had to do with UH when you're down a few possessions and then you start kind of scrambling around doing the whole trapping thing. That just feeds into what they're trying to do as far as get downhill and attack the basket. We don't really allow that. We try to contain the ball and then get in gaps and be in help and really pack it in. But when we're out trying to deny people, all of a sudden those driving lanes open up and they've got a few that can get in there. So, but really I think the biggest key coming out of that was just trying to limit their points in transition. And if we can do that by, taking better care of the ball and by just making sure our transition defense is in the right place, then but we've got to generate some offense as well. And that's where we've kind of gone back and trying to look at some different stuff we could do. So that was that game. And then we had the UH game where we got off to a very slow start. They actually forced a few turnovers and missed some layups, or they'd have jumped on us early. But we were kind of able to get a little lead there to end the first quarter, and then it wasn't. You see the final score of 60-20. You think, oh my gosh, they just blasted them. Oh no, it was one of those where we outscored them probably about 10 every quarter. So it gradually got to 40. It wasn't like it got to 30 or 40 and then we cruised the rest of the game. I think Coach Hazel was doing a great job, especially defensively. His kids, and he'll say it, he said, we just struggle to score. He said, if we don't hold people to under 20, we have a hard time winning. But you can already see the impact. Even from when we played them earlier this year, I said, you're doing two things that are vital to any program. I don't care what the skill level is. You've got them organized and you've got them playing hard. So as a coach, I think that's where you start. And he's doing that. So, got a lot of respect for Bud there and UH. So we were able to split last week, which takes us into this week.
It does. I wanted to talk about something else too before the break. It's about that time of the year where you start campaigning for Mr. and Miss Basketball. And both of you are fortunate enough to where you have a player each that you can both nominate. You've got Haley Bailey that you've nominated. Of course, we've got Jason Britton, who was a finalist last year. Talk about both of them and talk about the season that they've had and the careers that they've had here at North Green so far. Whichever one wants to go first.
I'll go first. I mean, Jason finalist last year, and you think, golly, with all that publicity and then people trying to stop him, you think, there ain't no way he has the same numbers as he had last year. And then you look up and they're better.
Yeah.
So, what I think is so impressive about it is just the schedule we play, and then you got, it's at least a face guard every night. And then most of the time, every time he drives, they're showing 2 to 3. Just the different ways that he scores with all the attention being shown to him. And then, but you got to credit his teammates too for, getting him the ball. Those guys setting, good screens and him running off all that stuff. So, that all kind of goes hand in hand. But, that's a great honor whether you get down there or not, just to be up for it. And if there is a better player in single A, and there might be people with better numbers, but if there's a better player, I'd like to see him.
Paul Krieger from the TWSAA released a watch list, and he had 5 candidates each for each class, and Jason was on there.
Okay. Well, yeah, and I think that the competition's stiff this year as far as getting down there. As far that they got a couple guys that are scoring a bunch of points, and then a guy I think that was on it in AA last year is back down to single A. So
they're the number 1 team in the state.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But like I said, and I'm not knocking anybody, but I think if you look at schedules, who they're doing it against, I think his is definitely a little tougher. A lot of those teams, a lot of those single A teams, I look on there, they hadn't played maybe 1 or 2 AA or AAA teams the whole year. So, not that there's not good single A teams, but I just think it makes it a little tougher against a bigger, better, stronger athlete. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, if there's a better player, I'd like to see him.
Going back to the conversation we had, do you know Jason's number, his exact number at the moment? I know it's around 2,600
points.
Yeah.
It seems like it was right at it. Let's see. He had 22.52.
Okay.
And then he scored 28 against Cloudland.
2280.
2280, and then 16. So
2296.
Yeah, seems like it.
2596. Yeah. So Nicole Hobson Riddle 2770. That's her number. And then you look at the top 5 that we had talked about previously. Livingston's total was 2423, passed him. Caleb Meredith was 2687, so passed him. Pat Good was 2716 with one more game. He could pass him and be third.
He's got like 87 points to pass Meredith because he's 91 points to pass Meredith because he's 2596.
Okay, I see what you're talking about now. So 2596, and then Pat Good is 2716, and then you've got Langston and Horde who have 2935 each.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
Yeah, it's very possible though.
Oh,
with enough games, yeah.
It's doable.
With enough games.
I think, like I said back there, if we make it to sub-state and he keeps his average, and I lowered his average by 2 than what it actually is. So if he kept a 28 average and we got to sub-state, he's going to be right on it. So we'll see.
Haley Bailey.
Got the floor.
Well, I don't know that anybody saw this coming. Haley's always had potential to be a dominant player. She's just a really strong girl, very athletic, great hands, finishes well around the basket. Her shooting has improved. And I knew we were going to be maybe a team that tried to play from the inside out. So I knew she'd have a lot of opportunities this year, her and Hannah both. I don't know that I saw that coming as far as the 18 a game, and she's had games where she's scored 32, 28, 25. You know, she's had several like that. So she got off to a great start, and I knew it would get tougher as we went along and you start playing people that knows you very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other night at Cloudland she had 4. But still her average is over 18 a game. I think I'd have to look back. Chelsea Wright scored a lot for us here. I believe it was her junior year, which got cut short because of injury. But she may have been up there in the 18, 19 neighborhood. But as far as me coaching here, 18 a game is one of the higher points per game averages I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So and she's also doing it on the boards as well, averaging over 9, 9.4 or 9.1, something like it's over 9 rebounds a game. Her field goal percentage is high. So I thought, well, you know, last year we tried to campaign a little bit for Sonia, and it was difficult. You know, I think she was averaging about 14 or 15 a game, but our win-loss record wasn't very good. And I think injuries played a huge part of that. And I thought, well, you've got the girl from Wayne County who was a finalist, the girl from McKenzie who had won it. I thought, man, it's a long shot if we get Sonia in here. But this year, you look, and we're a state-ranked team. I guess we still are. We've lost once since that came out, and I don't know if it's come out again. I don't pay much attention to that, but we've lost, 7 games. We're 17-7, and she's our leading scorer, second leading rebounder on a team that's ranked in the top 10. I thought, well, what other credentials do you need to nominate a kid?
Yeah.
So I sent as much out as I could. I'm not sure about that whole process. I do know this, the committee that ends up deciding who wins that, I'm not sure how many game film they sit down and study. And they've never been in our gym to watch us play. So really they're reviewing a lot of paperwork, and they're probably going by how many votes they get. from across the state. And all coaches have an opportunity to nominate kids. So not every coach does. You can nominate up to 3. Now, I can't nominate her. I can send a bunch of information out on her and try to get other coaches to vote for her, but I can't vote for her myself. So I can vote for 3 girls in each class, including the private schools. So that's kind of how that works. So I don't know. It's been quite a while since a girl from East Tennessee won Miss Basketball. We have only had 1 finalist, and that was Mindy. I'm sure maybe the good South Green teams that won some state titles 6-7 years ago, did they ever have a finalist? Or did they win it? I can't remember.
It seems like I know it was either
Lamb or
Weichels down there when I first got here.
Did they win it?
No.
See, I mean, how did they win back-to-back state titles?
I don't think they won.
And I mean, they might have won, I just don't remember.
I don't think they did.
But a lot of that to me.
Seems like it was Lamb my first year when I was down. Seems like right when we went to the state tournament, they were down there talking about that.
Yeah, I think your first year here was 18. I think Lamb was gone.
No,
you're right. That was her senior year.
Yes.
So she may have been down there in 18, and I'm sure Weichel maybe had a chance to go in 19. Mindy, for me, McNeese, she was a finalist in 14. Now Ramsey, I think from Unaka, was a finalist last year, maybe.
Was she?
I think she was.
She was, yeah.
So we've had some finalists from East Tennessee that gets into that final 3. But tell me the last winner. I mean, we'd have to
look.
dig for it. So I'm not sure how to go about fixing that.
Yeah.
In boys, has there even been maybe Hampton?
Gillespie.
Oh, I know
Gillespie,
he's won it, but I'm talking about take him out. In Greene County, has there been?
Well, the amazing thing in boys is you had 2 from the same conference down there last year. I thought that was amazing. And then neither one of them won it.
What might be amazing this year, there might be 3 from the same conference.
Really?
2A.
Oh, in 2A.
Shane Cherry, Todd Glasper, and Javine Carter. Austin East, Gatlinburg Pittman, and Alcoa.
Well, that would be, and it seems like maybe in boys it's, I don't want to say better, or that there's better coverage. But I don't know what to do about it, just to be honest with you.
There's more eyes on them than there is over here.
I think you're right.
And it's crazy, too, in that same region, you have 4 of those 5 on that watch list. Because Derry's in the same region, Chucky Doak, Alcoa.
Yeah.
You have 4 of the 5 potential top players in 2A are all within the same region.
We better go to break.
Yeah, we got to cut the break now. We've been talking for a while. We'll go ahead and get some messages in. We've got to preview the week coming up.
Robert Starne's Barbershop.
Yes, Baileyton Drug Company. You'll also see that. David Crockett Travel Centers, not the sponsor this year, but we roll them every week too. We'll go ahead and show those and be back in just a minute here on Grassroots Media.
Baileyton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Baileyton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're investing in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Baileyton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts? The Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
My name is Robert Starnes. I'm a lifelong resident of Northern Greene County, where I currently reside here with my wife and 3 children. I was a barber in Greenville for the last 6 years, but I have recently changed locations to my new shop in Baileyton. It's at 285 Mortis Hollow Lane, Afton. I'm also a proud supporter of North Greene Athletics. Come see me for all of your men and boys grooming needs. Go Huskies!
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company TMB show presented by Starne's Barbershop, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the North Green basketball teams. As always, I'm here with boys head coach Sam Tarleton and ladies head coach James Buchanan. A little bit different of a week this week.
Jehovah Jireh. Did you ever figure it out? Hang on a minute.
No, I didn't come out of the guidance office.
Jehovah Jireh. Somebody brought that up to me the other day that I told you to figure out what
It's
that
been,
meant.
what, 3 weeks
and
since
then I
then?
forgot to bring it back up.
Because we had the snow week, I
Did
guess
you
you'd
get
say.
it?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I
Well,
didn't.
If that'd been homework, you'd be making a 0.
I would.
All right, so
I'd be 0 for 2 because I've still never watched Rocky. I'll admit that. I still need to get on that.
Tyler, bless your heart. All right, so Abraham and Sarah, they wait forever to have a kid. They're old. They don't think they're going to be able to have children, and God promised them they would have children. And you know that's a long story, but they finally have this promised child. God provided for them what He said He would give them. So they named this promised child Isaac, and then God said, I want you to sacrifice him to me. So this kid that he'd waited on forever, now he's supposed to kill him, just to prove his devotion and his faith. And I believe Abraham believed that even if he'd killed his son, that God could have raised him up. You know, he's kind of in the business of that. So anyway, he draws back this knife and he's about to kill his son. Had him all tied down and everything. The angel of the Lord stopped him and said, now it's a fact. Your faith has been tested and you have passed. You are obedient and faithful to God. You know, he explained it all to him. About that time they saw a ram and its horns were caught in a thicket. So they were able to sacrifice that animal to God instead of Abraham. Instead of Abraham's son Isaac. Yeah. And that's when they came up with this phrase, Jehovah Jireh. The Lord will provide. He always provides. So I don't even know what we were talking about that day.
It was right at the beginning, too.
But I think it's one of the things like, how do you make it through a season with 9 players? Or how do you make it through a season like this year with 8 players, 8 available players?
Yeah, I cannot remember what we were talking about.
I know I've relied on that verse a lot, not only in my life, but in my professional career. The Lord has always provided for me. So there you go. There's the answer to the little challenge. And then you talk about this week. We do have Cedar View tomorrow. We were supposed to have played Cosby
on
today.
On the road, yeah.
Monday. And a weird series of events takes place where they had an elementary tournament they were supposed to host. It got moved because of the weather cancellations. So we kind of came up with a date. And I don't think the Cosby coaches were considering the fact that they still had to host that tournament. And come to find out, the dates fell on the same Monday, and we looked for everything. They have youth ball. They play down there on Saturdays. They ask us about a Wednesday, and that's against our school board policy. They make exceptions if there's a TSSAA scheduled tournament game, like girls' regional championship is on Wednesdays. Girls' regional championship in softball is always scheduled on Wednesdays. So there's times when our board has made an exception. Otherwise, if it's a regular season game, you have to get special permission. And just to be honest with you, missing church over a regular season game where we did present an alternative plan to them that they did not accept. So we've just decided to move on and not play them that game. They did try. We looked for other dates, and either we played or they played. They wanted the Wednesday, and we said no to that. We told them to let's keep this Monday and come play us here again, and we'll go play you 2 times at Cosby next year. And they flat out refused to do that. They did not want to do that. And that's their choice. I mean, we're not mad about that. There's no hard feelings. It's just we couldn't get it worked out. The handy thing is, the return game where we played Cedarview, a Hall of Champions game here, the return game, since our schedule is completely full, when we return that game to Cedarview, we always have to take our younger kids and play a JV game, which I don't have that many younger kids. I basically have to play most of my varsity, but I just have to consider it a JV game on our schedule. So now that that's opened up, where we're not playing Cosby, we can actually make this a true varsity game on Tuesday. And then, of course, we got the big rematch there, conference game with Cloudland on Friday. So it's a really big week, a week of adjustments. So we'll just see how it plays out. But that's all I've got to say about that.
That's all you got to say?
That's all I got.
You want to take me through a preview of both of those games real quick? You want to try it for a minute one more time?
Did a little bit of studying on Cedarview just to try to remind myself. It'd been way back in the middle part of November. We'll see a little bit of 1-3-1 zone. They got a couple of talented guards. They're not a very large team. We're figuring out a way that we think we can be successful against them. It'll be tougher to play them up there. I know we jumped on them here. They had a really good volleyball team this year. And in their Christian school league that they play in, they went very far. I think Final Four in the state. So their season was very extended. I remember talking to their coach. They had only had 2 or 3 practices, and we'd had a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Or a week and a half, something like that. Whatever it is. I think it's 2 full weeks you get before your Hall of Champions games begin. So we were just ahead of them. So it'll be much more difficult up there. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, I guess when you show this, and I'm saying tomorrow night, it confuses everybody. So we'll just use days of the week.
You could say tonight and Cloudland would be correct.
All right, so tonight we play Cloudland. Or Friday, February 2nd, we play Cloudland. And we have broken down that entire film. I've got like 4 pages of notes where we're just trying to figure it out. So I'm curious to see how it goes. See if we can't generate a few more buckets in this one while still holding them down there in the 30s. That's what it'll take if we're ever going to beat them. You got to hold them low. So I'll tell you what was unique about that. For one of the first times in my memory, the team that won the Battle of the Boards lost the game. We out-rebounded them up there Friday, and they still beat us. So that was one positive. That's all I got.
Students in Mr.
Minute
Justice
40.
Coach Charles'
40.
classroom can come get your lunch.
Dang it, I'm a failure.
I'm gonna
Go.
We have. We just want to continue to get better this week. Like I said, I think we're starting to turn the corner on a few things. And one of our goals this week's all about getting back to. We can get back to 500. So we're trying to go 2-0, starting with Cedarview tomorrow. Then we'll try to get Cloudland again on Friday. Have us sitting there at 13-13. Maybe we can creep up above 500 by the end, and just continue to get better on a few things.
That was 28 seconds on the dot. That's the quickest one we'll probably get.
I can't beat that.
Speaking of
Sam's unbeatable.
Jehovah Jireh and Aram, Duke and North Carolina play Saturday.
And?
What do you expect on that one?
We're rolling. I said we're. I'm a Tennessee guy now.
Where's that, Cameron?
No, it's at
Chapel
Bingo.
Hill?
Yeah. I figured.
I think Duke's got nothing for him.
I don't think so either.
And that means we got him right where we're going.
Yeah.
I'll bring up one name. Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have nothing for him that year either. And somehow, in the Dean Dome, he hits a buzzer beater. One of my children was small and was sick. And I was holding him during that game.
That was my first
Did you
year
stand
of
up
college.
when it
I remember
happened?
I almost threw him.
I think that's one of every Duke fan's favorite memories. Not only
because that's one of them you did not deserve. There's no way you win that game.
I remember watching that game with my dad, and he's a Carolina fan.
Let me ask you this.
I said, if they get down 15, I'm going to bed. They never did, and they slowly chipped away until they got it down to 3.
Tell me a North Carolina win in that series that they didn't deserve. Where they did not have the better team and they stole one.
I could give you 2 recently.
Don't talk about the Zion blowout. 'Cause
No.
when Zion ain't even playing.
No,
You can't
that was a
even count
good
that.
team. I'm talking
Yeah.
about 2 years ago.
They
Duke
beat
was a
them.
better team, but Carolina had 2 better games against them, I think.
Okay, maybe.
The one where Coach K coached his final game in Cameron Indoor and then the Final Four matchup. Do you think Carolina was better that year?
Yes.
You think Carolina was a better team that year?
Yep.
Students in Miss Castile, Miss Suggs' classroom can come get your lunch.
You
Yeah.
really think so?
Oh yeah. They went to the national championship game and beat them in the 2 most important games of the year. Coach K's final home game and then the national semifinal, and they beat them. Who'd Duke have? It was so much better than a
And
Carroll.
Caro. I'm not going to say A.J. Griffin's much better than anybody else. Mark Williams is not much better than anybody else.
I had a pretty good squad.
Baycott was probably better than.
Lively's
that year.
looking a lot better now than he did last year.
Yeah. Lively wasn't on
When
that
everybody's
team, though.
staring at Luca, and you just gotta catch the
Well,
ball.
all you got to do is be able to dunk. And I guess if you're 7 foot something, then yeah.
Get a little offensive rebound and throw it back in.
I think Carolina's a better team this year.
I hate to admit, too,
They may be playing as good as anybody in the country.
as of right now.
But the best team don't always win.
That's true too.
That's true.
We'll see.
I don't think
Coach.
anybody's. Who's still alive for the Super Bowl?
I am. 49ers.
Did you pick them in the beginning?
Yeah, that was my pick from the start.
I'm
And I
dead. I
also
picked the
picked the
Ravens.
Dolphins. That was from the start. But on this last, most
They laid
recent,
an egg.
I went Chiefs just to go opposite you guys. So I've won
They
this.
laid an egg.
You've pretty much. Yep, you've got it.
Winner!
He was belly
You had the
aching how he
Cowboys.
was gonna quit.
Yeah.
Now he's winning.
Bye!
No, I think it's over.
It's over.
I'm not. gonna do it.
Grassroots, bye!